Hi, I'm Chef Celeste and welcome to cooking simple pasta with a white cream sauce. But we're going to be making today a little bit healthier, at least try to. We're going to be using some 95% fat-free ground turkey meat. Now the theme for the sauce is it's going to be white, but we are going to add a little bit of splash of color at the end by adding some roasted sweet peppers. So getting started, first thing we're going to do is we're going to start getting our peppers roasted. So what you can do here is turn on your conventional, if you have a gas grill, this is a great way to do it. If you don't, I recommend turning on the oven around, say, 350, 375, or actually higher, put it around 500. And then throw it in there on a pan, let it roast on all the sides, try to shake it up a little bit, because the key here is what we're trying to do is we're trying to get the skins off and get to the really sweet, good bits of the sweet pepper. So what I do is I take these and you simply place them right on top. And they're going to crack, they're going to sizzle, they're going to make all kinds of funny noises. And yes, we're putting it directly on the flame, because what our key here is we really want it to sort of burn. We're going to burn the outside skin off these peppers. So they're going to sizzle and pop and do some funny little things here. So I'm going to let that go for a second. And then the next step that we're going to try, we are going to be slowly cooking leeks and garlic. This is our first initial base. Okay, sorry folks, we were interrupted by a phone call for someone interested in a personal cooking class. So, back to business. What I've done here is I took the peppers, I roasted them, and what I've pretty much roasted them is they're pretty black, they're pretty charred. So they look burned, but that's kind of okay because that really gives it a really good flavor. And I've put it in this case just to kind of seal them up, and what they're going to do is they're going to sweat, and it's going to make the skins come off of them. Which is going to get us down to the sweet pepper part, which is really what we want because the skins are a little chewy. You can also just throw it in a bowl, put some cling film over the top of it, and it'll do the same thing. So here we go. Alright, I've got my salted boiling water going on. Got myself a nice little pan here. It's a little bit wider to kind of be where I can sort of incorporate everything. I'm going to slowly sweat my vegetables in here, so I have a lid to go over it, but it's also conducive to me being able to throw the ground meat in there at the same time and cook it all the way over. So this is why I chose this type of pan. You can do it in a regular little fry pan too if you have one, as long as you have a lid. So here we go. Okay, so I'm taking my olive oil here. I'm using a little extra virgin olive oil simply because I'm not doing some high heat cooking, I'm going for flavor. So I've got enough in here that I want to just basically coat the pan.
And the heat is set on?
The heat is on relatively low, if you'll notice. Relatively low, not too hot. Kind of get that going a little bit. I've talked about the leeks here. So the leeks are the sweet onion. And what you need to do to prepare them is you cut off the end, and then what you're going to use, you're only going to use the white part of the onion. So you're going to chop this off, discard the green parts, slice it right down the middle, and then these vegetables are extremely dirty. See if you see in there all the dirt and the grime that's in there. So what they do is obviously they grow in the ground, so that's why they get it all in their layers. So when you have to cut it right down the middle, there will be all these little slices and pieces in there that you'll need to go and wash it all out to get all the dirt and grit out of there. So then when that's done, simply slice it all up, chop it up, and here it is, all this lovely little white mixture. I've got about 5 cloves of garlic that I've chopped up that's in here also. It's kind of nice. And I'm going to just take this now. All total, you're going to use 2 leeks and 5 cloves of garlic for this recipe. We're just going to put this in here now. And what's going to happen, I'm going to spread this around a little bit. Now I like to season my food a little as I go along because this is important. As you're cooking, especially things like onions, the goal here is I want them to get really sweet and I want them to kind of slightly caramelize. And a way to do that is by going ahead and adding my sea salt. Love sea salt. This is coarse ground sea salt. Let's just shake a little bit in there. Just kind of throw that in there. And instead of black pepper, I'm going to use white pepper for this right now. We're actually going to use a combination of all three, black, red, and white peppers. But right now, I'm just going to throw some white pepper. Let's see what that looks like. So this is white pepper. If I can get this off again. It's a kind of a gray color, but it's known as white pepper. And it has a different flavor from black pepper. If you start experimenting with all the different types of pepper that are out there, you will have a large number of possible flavor combinations. So if you want to be able to try to take something to a whole new level, try it with your seasonings, try it with your peppers. You'll be very surprised. So I'm going to put this in there, white pepper. Kind of get this all coated. Now you could also do butter, which quite honestly will make leeks and butter are a gorgeous combination. But we're going to try to be a little healthier here. And extra virgin olive oil, especially if you get a really good one, has a lot of flavor. Okay, so that's going good now. So what I'd like to do, and I'm going to cover this up. I'm actually going to turn it down even more to a lower flame. About like that. Maybe just a tad more. I'm going to turn it up just a little more. And what I'm trying to do here, I'm trying to sweat the vegetables. So by sweating them, they tend to take on a character of being more buttery, more sweet, kind of combine a little more to give it more of an intense flavor, rather than just simply sauteing them. So we're just going to do that for now. Okay, so another item that I'm going to be using today are parsnips. I'm using parsnips here. This is what a parsnip looks like when you get them. It's in the same family. It's a very starchy vegetable. It looks like a carrot, but it's golden color. So it's sort of in the same starchy vegetable combination. It's like a cross between a potato and a carrot. But parsnips, I like to use them because they're sweet. So the whole thing that I'm going for, again, are sweet flavors here. Because what we're trying to do is, for our flavor palette, is we're going to have a sweet slash spicy combination kind of going on once we use all of our different peppers. So this is a parsnip. I'm also using this. It's a nice little white vegetable. It's good. It kind of throws in there. It's tasty. But what is great about it is it will thicken my sauce for me. So I don't have to use any flour. I don't have to start making a roux. I don't have to go through too much of a painful process. So this is going to give us something textural, something good to bite on, and thicken our sauce when it's all said and done. So that's it for that. Another item that we're going to use in our sauce is the ground turkey meat. This is about 20 ounces in here. So that's what type of ground turkey we're going to use. Ground turkey is highly inexpensive compared to a lot of things, and it is a lot healthier. So if you're on a budget and you're looking for a way to eat healthy at the same time, with turkey being a little bit more easily digestible, ground turkey is the way to go.